This is another proposal they have, which is to allow for campuses to build at a higher density as well. So this is the Visitation campus. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And then right now it's for sale. I'm sure you're also aware of that. The school closed and all that. So this is one of the largest pieces of property in Brooklyn that's underdeveloped, right? It's 7.3 acres. It's very large. It's currently zoned R3-1, which allows detached and semi-detached 1 and 2 family houses. So today, if the whole property was demolished, a developer could build 150 semi-attached 1 or 2 family homes as of right, today. Which would be a lot, but it would be all 1 and 2 family homes. Okay. If half of the property were kept, because there is some discussion about that part of the property would remain a convent and the rest of it would be sold, then it would be 72 semi-attached 1 or 2 family homes, basically half. Now, under the campus infill provision, this would allow for approximately 40 units in 3-story buildings on that portion that you see there, and what that would look like. Okay? Now, with the transit-oriented development, it allows for a higher density. So now, if you bumped it up to R4 zoning from the current zoning, now you're at 5-story buildings. Okay? And ultimately, with the campus infill, you can get it up to 800 units if you're at an R5 zone. So this is exactly what could be done as of right. And it says, finally, even if visitation was not within the proposed TOD zone, all religious properties across the city will be allowed to build at this density, even if they're not in this transit zone. This is also in the proposal. Every religious property in the city will be given carte blanche to build at extremely high densities, with all parking requirements.
Paul, thank you, first off. He's been all around the city. This takes a ton of work for him, and he's done it for a lot of communities. So, first, thank you very much. I took Paul's work when they had the hearings for Community Board 10 about specifically visitation, and I quoted some of his work, and I was told by our elected officials that I was full of you-know-what, that I was fear-mongering. I was queried on Facebook and Twitter saying I was a liar. By extension, they told you were a liar. Now, has anybody in all of these presentations ever said, well, according to the 1,500-page real document, you are wrong? Has anyone ever told you you are wrong and say why?
The only person who has said I'm a liar is the chair of the City Planning Commission, Dan Garodnick, who, when I gave my public testimony on July 10th, turned off my mic, threw me off of Zoom, and then proceeded to lecture to me for almost 5 minutes. And even developer people, because I know people who are, they actually were it was getting back to me like, why are you going after Graziano like that? That's crazy. Like, what are you doing? So this is not about reality. This is not about who's telling the truth or a lie. This is propaganda.
Yes.
That's all this is.
They can't point to a regulation that you're incorrect about.
I'm using their own documents.
Yes.
Everything that you see here, this is their own documents. They are not doing the analysis that I'm doing. They're creating theoretical models. And they're plugging in the theoretical models into the most complicated city in the United States. I'm actually doing this neighborhood by neighborhood, community board by community board. And I've done more in here. You can see here. Okay, these are all the areas that I've done deep studies. And Dyker Heights isn't included because I just finished that right before I came over here. So I've done community board-wide studies, I've done neighborhood-wide studies all over the city. And they're not doing any of that because they don't want to do it, because they know that if they do it, it will show the same details that I'm showing you.